We woke up to a beautiful morning, ready to explore and learn more about the incredible Vredefort Dome. This is the entrance to Koppieskraal Country Lodge. After a short stretch of gravel road to the lodge, we were welcomed by curious little ground squirrels darting about their day. We met our host Christo from Dome Tours and hopped into the open vehicle for a fun bumpy ride up the hill. This was really great. The view from the top were absolutely breathtaking. You could see for miles and miles, and it was endless scenery in every direction. Krista's passion for the area was unmistakable. He explained every little thing in a relaxed way and answered all our questions very patiently.
Yeah. Right. We are currently in the Vredefort Dome World Heritage Site. And it is part of a massive large impact structure called the Vredefort Dome impact structure. Now, this structure was formed 2023 million years ago when a meteorite, possibly the size of Table Mountain, landed near the current town of Vredefort, 23 kilometers southeast of the current town of Vredefort. And that resulted in an impact structure of 300 kilometers in size, from where basically today Welkom and Johannesburg is. We are currently, as we said, we're on the first of 3 ring structures that was caused by the impact of the meteorite. Now, at the time of the impact, there was no life on Earth. The only form of life was a single-cell algae called stromatolite. But there wasn't oxygen for multiple-cell life like we know multiple-cell life today. So the meteorite comes, size of Table Mountain, possibly 25 kilometers in size, and it landed on the land. It landed and it penetrated the soil, possibly 25 kilometers deep. Took the horizontal geological layers that were in the earth, bends it downwards, and then explodes. And that explosion resulted this material comes up, over, and out, and it forms 3 ring structures. The first ring structure is this ring structure that we're on. The second ring structure is Vochwil, Carletonville, Potchefstroom, Gatsrand, Losberg. That's the remainder of the second ring structure. Third ring structure, Randburg, Krugersdorp, Lichtenburg, the Witwatersrand. That's the remainder of the third ring structure. All visible today to the north and to the west of the impact structure. The south and the eastern quarter have been covered by the sediment, the mud, the sludge if you want to, from the Karoo system. That came, washed the Freestate flat, entered the impact structure and covered it. That's why when you look at aerial photos of the impact structure, you see a 3/4 ring structure. Now, of that 3/4 ring structure, on the first ring, you have a portion on the northwestern corner, about 30% of the visible ring structure has been declared a World Heritage Site. Now, from reconstruction models, the scientists believe that the central portion that came up, it's like you throw a stone into water. Look what happens. You throw a stone in and there's a drop that jumps up like that. The drop falls down and it makes rings. Now it sounds funny, but the soil acted as if it was a liquid. So you had the central portion coming up, and that's what's referred to as the dome, is that central portion, the drop. And then it makes 3 rings. Now over time, 2,000 million years of erosion, it erodes that dome that today there is no dome. It's gone. This first ring structure, they believe, was 10 kilometers high. Today, the height is 230 meters of an original 10 kilometers. That's how much erosion has taken place. There at the bottom, if you want to call it the crater, they don't actually call it the crater anymore. They call it the central impact zone rather than the crater. Because the level of erosion that have taken place, 8.5 kilometers of erosion that have taken place. So we're 8.5 kilometers below the original crater floor formation. Now what is unique? 3 things. The first thing is the geology. You see the rocks, the stones, from the mantle of the earth right up to surface, being spread out. So in a 2-kilometer distance, you can see right up to the mantle, all the different rocks. And also the character of the rocks have been changed. Some have been melted, some have been shocked, and it's changed. So that's the unique feature, is the geology. The second feature is the fact that there are still some of the mountains today available to see. Given the long period of erosion, these mountains by now should have actually been eroded away totally. So the mountains are pristine, and they are called the Dome Bergland, the mountains. The third feature that UNESCO described as of outstanding universal value is the following, and it sounds nice. The area lends itself to safe, quiet enjoyment. And that is so unique that it needs to be protected for generations to come. So they're very strict in terms of entry to the area, tourism, and also very strict to any building activity. Because those are the 2 things that can materially impact on the integrity of a site. What is called the ambiance, the sense of place. And you can understand that the sense of place is unique because it is still a wilderness area, not highly populated. And the landowners actually maintain the integrity of the site. The reality is that there's no public entry. There's no place where the public can go in and have a braai or swim or walk around. There are some places that's made walking trails, hiking trails, and they allow people to walk on specific trails that they've developed. Otherwise, you can't really enter the area.
I must admit, to me, one of the biggest treats were the beautiful views from the loo. You feel like you're sitting on a throne. This is so beautiful.
I'm going backwards.
All in all, the tour took about 2.5 hours, and I think when you do go out there, you should take just something to drink and maybe a refreshment or 2.
Actually, Velcro on the seat and then we're up. Good idea.
Christo recommended we visit the nearby town of Venterskroon. I couldn't find the exact number of permanent residents, but let's just say it's small. Luckily, what it lacks in population, it makes up for in charm, especially the colourful Venterskroon Inn. It's a pub, a restaurant, and you can unwind with a drink or meal. You can take a swim, meet the free roaming animals, and befriend a very persuasive pup who asked me for some of my snacks.
Pretty. And the lucky is on. Wow. You get me a winter's coat. Huh? Yes. That's a winter's coat.
The old jailhouse still stands in Venterskroon. It no longer is in use, but you can just imagine all the stories it would tell you if walls could speak. Parys is a quaint town on the Vol River, and it gets its name from Paris in France. And yes, they've got their own Eiffel Tower. You can check my photo. Wide, what do you call it? One of our highlights was the Grain and Art Iron Store in Freestate, where we discovered beautiful handcrafted furniture, high-end decor and original art. We even met the talented Cobus van Wyk, who kindly posed with one of his stunning paintings. At the 90-degree bend in Freestate, we explored a massive shop filled with treasure, an art gallery, fine furniture, antiques, and lots more. I even saw a porcelain doll, and I don't like it. They scare the living daylights out of me. Something of everything in here. From ancient craters and quirky inns to riverside charm and local talent, the Vredefort Dome, Venterskroon and Parys reminded us just how rich South Africa's heartland is in history, beauty and in hidden gems. Thank you so much for joining us on this adventure. If you enjoyed the journey, give us a like, leave a comment and don't forget to subscribe for more stories from our travels.